And we are back.
And we are back.
Okay, we actually have a few photos.
A few more.
Yeah.
A few more photos.
Few more photos. So we're going to scan through really quickly.
Okay, the first one is probably the most important because it kind of, in a way, shows, the entrepreneurial spirit
that Penny has.
Yes,
so she has
trying to
she has
imbibe
not
into other
only, been in front of the counter, she's also been behind the counter.
Exactly. So
I've done a lot of things in my life for sure.
Andrew, so tell us a little bit more about this photo. Now, all of us will find this very interesting.
That's right. Displaying our wares and all, you see some Romanian wooden plates there, and then you see a torchlight, and then you see the rolls of foams. I tell you, that's a sad story. Because I bought, my camera, my good old camera with me, made sure it's well serviced and so on. So I had 3 lenses, 2 flashes, 1 tripod and a camera body. And then it malfunctioned on the second day.
Oh.
So I had to, because I was carrying something that 25 to 30 kilograms, on my backpack itself. We have our kitchen, our house all in there. So at the end of it, after winter itself, we decided that we have to get rid of some of this weight. So you could see the foams, that we're trying to get rid of.
Despondent look.
Yeah. So it's really born of practicality as well.
Yeah. It's practicality, and also
How
because...
much did you make?
Well, not very much. Not very much.
Okay, let's take a look.
Yeah, but it was good fun.
Good fun.
Yeah.
And these are all the people that you have met, over the years, like these people.
That's right. That's right.
The ministers from Cambodia. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next photo, of course, these are all people you're still in touch with as well, right? And
that's right. Yeah,
these are some people from Seoul.
There's a Korean on my right-hand side and the Japanese on the left-hand side. They're very well acclaimed, They are part of the Young Global Leaders group, and the one on the...
Of which you're a part of.
Of which I'm a part of, fortunately. And these are some of my best friends from the YGL group.
I see. And are they also, involved in, similar programs like SIP in their own countries?
Yes, actually, we are still very closely in touch. I last saw them a month ago. James Kondo, which is the Japanese without spectacles.
Okay. It's easier when you say without spectacles. Because I couldn't tell.
That's right. So, he's actually a co-starter of this program called Table for Two. And the idea is that, half of the world is suffering from too much good food. So they have obesity, they have diabetes and problems like that. The other half of the world is eating too little. So they're suffering from malnutrition and, problems of not growing to the ripe old age. And so the part of the world that has diabetes also needs manpower to take care of them when they grow old. But we are suffering from low fertility rates.
Yes.
The other part of the world has got a lot of babies and young people, but they are not growing to an age where they could acquire enough skill or mature enough or strong enough to take care of others. So the idea is, how do you then match the two and solve the problem together? And that's why we call it Table for Two. So one part of the world eat less and give the rest of the access to the part of the world.
And everybody lives longer because if you eat less,
everybody got
less chance of
longer.
Obesity.
That's right.
Exactly. Slightly less cholesterol,
A lot less cholesterol.
A lot less cholesterol.
It's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win situation, exactly. So that's a paradigm change.
Now we have a photo of you from the World Economic Forum. Okay, and I know that this is a photo that's quite... The next photo, which is of you and 3 other ladies, okay, is the one that you find very close to heart.
Yeah, that's right. Because there's 2 Korean ladies and 1 Chinese lady. The Korean lady on my right-hand side, the one with the jacket, she's in fact the youngest PhD from MIT.
Oh wow!
She was listed as one of the top 50 most influential women in the world.
Was she a PhD in Soci?
No. In computer, neuro. Computing science,
And
they're all the new Asian.
They're all the new Asian leaders, and they're all very, very good friends of mine.
And you have pulled all of them, into all your different things that you, like you mentioned, you're trying to keep in touch with all the people, bringing them in the global network.
That's right. In fact, the lady who is in the center, the one in black. Yeah. She might be coming to join us for our Global Social Innovators Forum.
Very good.
Which will happen at the end of this month.
That's right.
Exactly.
We'll be talking more about that in a bit. But also we also had another case of our Ris-Punggol, who has actually benefited from SIP. So we're going to take a short look at this clip.
Okay.
Alright, I'm here with Ruku. She's the Executive Director for Friends of Disabled Society. So Ruku, tell us a bit about your background.
Yeah, we came here around 2006 actually. We got this place. And when I was in the other organization, exposure to making handicrafts came into my path. And it was like I didn't want to let go. One lady who actually came and asked me, hey, did you ever thought of getting the disabled people to make things? Which I was like, at that point of time, I never thought it would be possible. Then a few years down the line, there was some professional people who are good in their trade, like ceramic makers, recycle paper, candle making. They were doing it, and it was those things that slowly, when I teach the disabled people, then realized that actually they can do beautiful things, So we started to do this in a smaller scale. We go to bazaars. Sometimes we have those event organizers. Sometimes they have those events, and I search through website and I find that they have this, and then I kind of apply for it, and this is how we started to bring some of our products. If we were just having sales here and there, the enthusiasm will not be there. The interest in wanting to develop more crafts won't be there. In trying to get more disabled people involved will not be there, and it will slowly die off. But I really am grateful to PATH because at least I know that there's an avenue. I know that every first and last weekend I'll be bringing products, and the products will be sold. So why not I start to get volunteers who have different skills to come and show their skills and teach our disabled friends, and we start developing. Normally in our PATH art market, when we are selling, I normally go up and do the setup. I'm actually also, my dream is that eventually I can teach our disabled friends to do the setup itself.
Do your disabled friends feel better about it?
Yes.
Sold their stuff?
I used to ask them this question: if let's say FDS is no more and we are not doing this anymore, would make a difference to you? She said yes. We are really grateful that we are able to do things that we never thought we could do. They never mentioned money as a main thing. Is satisfaction and knowing that I can do this. Even this boy who did it, and I told him that you must understand, when I sell this piece, then I will be giving you. But he says that, Ruku, I am not more keen on the money. I only want to do the piece. Want to feel good. And that's how every one of them are involved in all the different skills. Like Zaini doing this piece, hideously was put every piece there. Even if I'm not able to pay him immediately, he doesn't come and say, hey, when am I going to get the money? So for them, it's like they're going through stages. At one time, the Zaini who did this piece, initially was doing it when I tell him what to do.
Yeah.
So today he's using the knowledge, he's creating his own creative piece, his own ideas. So and similarly, those others who are doing the different crafts. So that's what I'm looking for.
So what do you think the future holds for you?
Of course, my dream is to have our own shop one day. But before that itself, if in PATH Art Market itself, with a group of volunteers and our disabled friends can run the whole show by themselves without my involvement in that sense, and that would be great.
We're bantering.
We're bantering.
In between.
Yeah.
No, but from the video you can see the PATH is very, very successful. I mean, I feel that having these disabled friends, so-called, that they can step forward and have sort of convert themselves into a very valuable member of society and giving back. It's very important for their dignity as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
right.
what are the challenges that you guys face now?
Yeah. Well, if I could bring you through the setting up of PATH, which is Pop and Talent Hub.
Yeah.
So Pop and Talent Hub, because Pop Art refers to performance arts.
As we saw in the photos.
Yeah. Right. All the busking and all the activities, where it's a space for people to really act out their talents.
What kinds of people do you have in the Pop Hub so far?
Well, the Pop Hub has only been launched with last month. And so
congratulations!
Thank you very much. We're happy about it. So we've got people who are magicians, people who are the Diabola performance.
I saw the
they were very good. Did you like it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I told him to do like a short performance for the camera and everything.
So he did.
Impressive. Yeah.
Okay, he didn't drop the Diabola on
No.
Okay. So we had a series of different types of performers. Those who can sing, those who can't really sing, but uses that as a platform to boost their confidence and dignity level. Hip hop dancers and so on and so forth. So it's a whole range of people. And of course, Judy herself, whom you saw in the clip earlier on, she wrote a song.
Oh, wow.
Very beautiful song, beautiful lyrics, talking about how their ability is limited by our imagination.
Which is true.
Very poetic.
Very poetic,
Very poetic.
And so we had someone to help sing the song, and she now becomes part of the performance act along with some of the other hard of hearing people. So it's really transformed. It's an evolving platform. The talent part, which is basically visual arts, that part is a lot more established because that's been since October 2006. And that part, we have all sorts of talents. It's not necessarily just those who are disabled. It's also those who are marginalised. So, for example, very lowly educated, stay-at-home moms, who's got so many children, couldn't really work outside, but yet, can do something. This is an example. This is a watch.
Oh, wow.
Can you see it?
I thought the Cartier watch.
It's the worth is as good as Cartier, I think.
Okay, let's see.
Better
that's right.
because it's not a
it's all
product of
hand-painted,
commercialism and capitalism.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can see that it's actually hand-painted. So when we found this lady, she was honing her craft and selling these kind of watches for about $18. So I asked her what is the cost.
That's kind of a steal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a steal because you ask her, every single piece is unique, and she bought it for about $12 to $15. But she takes out the whole face of it and then draws on it, puts it back. I'm sure there's some casualties.
It's time consuming.
It's time consuming, but you see, why is it only $3? Up in the price?
Yeah.
Because that's the worth of her dignity. That's how her dignity level is worth. So we took her out and we said, no, you can do a lot more, and you should look at how you do packaging, and at the same time do better procurement, especially get better watches so they will function and so on. So now the watches are made and sent out in a really nice box, and on top of that it comes with a 1-year guarantee.
Wow.
Clock works and everything.
And her dignity is now
her dignity level is now about $70.
Well done.
Wow.
And, so that's what I paid. So that's an example of how where if you are able to provide the platform and some coaching and some mentorship to many of these people who are being marginalized because they don't survive that well in the system that we've set up.
Equipping them with the
skills. them with the they have
and the
skills.
business know-how as well.
They have the skills, but they don't have the opportunities. They don't have the network, and that's what SIP has. That we can provide the platform, we can provide the network, and as and when it's necessary, we provide some mentorship, help them with procurement, some business skills. So that whole works itself is what we do at the Puppet Talent Hub.
Well, Amanda.
Yeah, no, but that's what SIP is about.
It is.
But how many Singaporeans know about that?
That's right. Earlier, I went out on the street to talk to some people and find out how many of them actually know what social entrepreneurship is about. So maybe we can take a look at it.
I'm curious to find out.
Do you know what social entrepreneurship is?
Sorry.
Social do not know.
Entrepreneurship. Actually, I'm thinking it might be like social networking websites and such things.
As far as I know, it's still doing a business, but the business is it will help to give back to society.
If you do a startup and you do activities that help benefit the community as a whole, so I guess a little bit more into the social work, a bit more non-profit. Yeah.
What do you think of this kind of concept?
I guess it's also important because I think nowadays when people are so busy with their work, you need some of this awareness so that people will actually contribute back to the society.
It's good to contribute back to society in general also because I think most of the people need help anyway, considering our circumstances now.
I don't know much about it, but I had attended a seminar by Elim Chew before, the boss of 77th Street. I think she's a very good example.
I guess it's actually quite a new concept in Singapore. So it's probably something that we can promote. Right?
But not many people will do that because
everybody think of their own rice bowl, especially now economy is so bad, So in order to help the old, I think, and the poor, it's quite difficult, I guess so. Right, because right now most of our businesses are more profit-oriented. So having a more social dimension to it could bring a new meaning to the word community service or community work.
Well, I think it's a good move. In fact, I guess in some way or another where everyone has benefited from society, there will also be times where people will need to think about how we each can contribute individually based on what we can afford in that sense, yeah.
Eventually, if it's good for the society, I will strongly go for it.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm quite impressed, because when we first started, SIP had 3 E's, right? The first E is educate, second is empower, and third is enhance. And why educate first? Because nobody knows about it, or knows very little about it.
A few do.
And now, well, many do. Not bad. I'm impressed.
Increasing numbers.
Yes.
So, what are the challenges that you have faced?
Well, first of all, when you start to talk about social entrepreneurship, and people would be asking the question of, so is it social or is it enterprise?
One guy was like, social networking?
Social networking, So, all kinds of concepts comes into it. But, the minute that, people start asking, there's an engagement point for us. And that's why we go out there, to really transmit the information and educate, create awareness, create events, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Interesting. So it really is, the whole theory of instead of giving them the fish.
Society before self.
No, instead of giving them the fish, you teach them how to fish.
Yeah. Well, more than that, we really want to change the fishing industry,
Revolutionize.
Bigger scale.
You see, the way that social entrepreneurship works is really this, that, we feel that the rules of the current system that you and I survive very well in is a system that is really suitable perhaps for great majority. But then for the marginalised, and the reason they're called marginalised is because they don't quite fit into this system, right? It's like asking you to use only chopstick to eat your rice, but with your left hand. That would be marginalised. Of course. So it's really the concept of, then how do we then include the rules, such and broaden it such that we can have a much more inclusive kind of society, a society whereby even, the less fortunate or the marginalized can now be integrated and become a full-fledged contributing citizen.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Penny, for sharing with us some of your insights.
Yes. We have one web comment that we are supposed to take, and it's a comment, actually a question for you. Now, this is from Beach Gal. Wow, I'm envious of your journey around the world. Would you travel first class now that you can afford it? This is the last question that Penny will take before we close for today. So, Penny, your answer to that.
She hitchhikes, man. The rest she gives back to society.
Exactly.
Yeah. For more information, check out socialinnovationpark.org and .sg. And if you guys want to find out more about our previous episodes, do check out our video on demand. So that's all the time we have for you for today. Thank you, Penny.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you, Penny. It was very educational as well.
Can I just say one last thing?
Sure, of course.
Because earlier on there was an interview, and this guy said that, or this lady said that this is amidst a crisis and so on, and therefore it's hard to think about helping other people. But I think we have to look way beyond that. We know that the storm will certainly be blown over one day, right? But how do we want to emerge as a society, as a people, or even as a corporate citizen amidst that storm itself? Do we just look at what saving ourselves and going into a defensive position during the storm, and then when we emerge from the storm, we're all selfish individuals? Or do we want to then, use this crisis as an opportunity for us to come together, band together, unite, so that we can have a much better world when we emerge from the storm? I think that's a choice and a decision
Food for thought.
Each one of us have to make.
Okay, we'll all be thinking
Ways
about it tonight.
for today.
Yes.
So thank you very much. On that note, we would like to remind you again to visit the Social Innovation Park website. And that's all from us. And of course, Miss Penny Low.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming.
And of course,
Amanda.
Yes.
So that's all for us for today. And thank you. See ya. Goodbye.
Ciao.